What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video, because a lot of times I'll upload different Ravens news and stuff like that. So if you want to stay up to date, you can turn the notification bell on. I know there's other Ravens YouTubers that come out with stuff, but I like to get out the news as fast as possible. Unfortunately, I was out when today's news came out. But so I'm making the video right when I got back, and that is that the Ravens have signed running back Trenton Cannon. And I expected this right after they signed Le'Veon Bell. I expected, hey, they're still going to go after another guy, potentially a running back. I talked about it in that Le'Veon Bell update video that I posted like right when it was ever announced that he got signed. I talked about how the Ravens will likely be adding another running back or potentially adding a, player that to the team that would be able to play special teams. So whether that was a running back or not, they were going to add somebody else. And, Trenton Cannon, I talked about in the video that I made talking about how he's that Ravens are interested in signing him. I talked about how he is a special teams player. Not only can he return kicks, he had a 98-yard kick return against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, playing for the Carolina Panthers, but he's also a gunner. He actually has some pretty good highlights as a gunner when he was playing on the Jets. I cannot remember the name, but I did see somebody on Twitter post, videos of his highlights as a gunner, and he actually looked pretty solid. He's able to make tackles in the open field, and that's what the Ravens need to replace Justice Hill. Trenton Cannon is absolutely that guy. If you don't know much about him, he's a very quick player. When he ran his 40-yard dash time, he did not participate in the 2018 NFL Combine, but when he ran his 40-yard dash, he ran a 4.40. However, the benefit that he had was that his 10-yard split was a sub 1.5, which only 9 running backs at that point had ever done in Combine history. So, he's very explosive and very quick. And when you watch him, especially when he has the football in his hands, you can see it a little bit when he's a gunner, but he's very quick and very explosive, and very similar to what the Ravens wanted to see out of Justice Hill when they drafted him. So I don't think that this is just a special teams signing. I think that he actually will get carries, especially as the Ravens really try and work Le'Veon Bell into the lineup, because Le'Veon Bell, if you didn't know, is on the practice squad, and I expect him to be elevated, to the full Ravens roster pretty quickly. But Trenton Cannon was somebody that he needed to be elevated to the 53 immediately, because the Ravens need that gunner. So there's a chance that in the first couple of weeks, at least the first week, he will maybe get a couple of carries. But, similar to the Dez Bryant situation, remember Dez Bryant's first game with the Ravens was supposed to be against the Dallas Cowboys. And then there was that really weird situation that happened, and he wasn't allowed to play because of a false positive or something like that. Like, they didn't have the numbers, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, you can't play." And he was warming up, and he was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" But Le'Veon Bell gets to play against the Chiefs in week 2, his former team that he absolutely hates. So he is going to be working his tail off in order to be able to play in that game. So Trenton Cannon may only have 1 week to really prove himself as a viable runner, but he can catch the football, as a kick returner. And I've seen, highlights of him playing with Sam Darnold and such, catching the football in open space and doing well. So hopefully he's able to perform, to the level that we hope on special teams. Filling Justice Hill's spot is not easy. However, hopefully he's able to do a good job. But then him and Le'Veon will absolutely more than replace Justice Hill's running ability. So that's the benefit. We may lose a little bit of skill on the special teams, but the running ability will be drastically improved. So we will be able to run 3 running backs, possibly even 4 running backs. We'll really have to see. Trenton Cannon has not gotten a lot of, running back experience, just has a lot of special teams experience. But I really liked his highlights. I believe he went to Virginia State after transferring from a even smaller school. I can't remember the name of the original school, but Trenton Cannon, I'm really happy with this signing. I talked about in that video, like, I would completely be okay with this over like the Devontae Freeman. This, I will say though, I think this rules out Latavius Murray. I think Latavius Murray, honestly, I just kind of get my thoughts. I don't think would have been a great signing, just because he's way too similar to the running backs we already have in Gus Edwards and Tyson Williams. So I was not like, when he got released, a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, the Ravens can go get him." And I know he had the quote talking about the Ravens. He's like, "Yeah, the Ravens, they need some running back help and stuff." But I wasn't really super on board. If the Ravens still sign him, I won't be super ecstatic, but I doubt that they'll sign him, considering they have Le'Veon on the practice squad and then they have 3 running backs on the full team. But like I said before, I expect Le'Veon to be on the full roster, and the Ravens will have 4 running backs most of the season, barring any injuries to their running backs, because just like last year with Mark Ingram and Justice Hill, Le'Veon Bell is going to be that Mark Ingram where he doesn't get a ton of carries, but he doesn't play special teams. And then Trenton Cannon, most likely towards the end of the year, will be that Justice Hill type where really gets very minimal carries, but key contributor on special teams. But I will mention that Le'Veon Bell does have a great pass catching ability, so we may see him out there a little bit more than we ever saw Mark Ingram last year, barring the beginning of the year. He played a lot at the beginning. Wasn't very good at the beginning, but hopefully both of these guys work out. Very excited about both of these signings. I really liked it. Trenton Cannon should be a pretty solid player. Don't be like, oh, I got to pick him up in fantasy. Don't do that. Don't overreact. Like, this is a special teams guy. He has a potential to play a little bit of running back if our 2 guys get hurt, and I think he can do a mediocre job, but that's about it. He's just got great burst. Hopefully, if he can hit the edge, he can actually take one to the house or something like that if he gets an opportunity. But very similar to Justice Hill, in terms of special teams and running ability. But thank you already so much for watching. Subscribe for more Daily Ravens content, and I will see all of you again tomorrow on the opening day of the NFL season. I cannot wait. Let me know who you guys are rooting for in the comment section down below, because they're not AFC teams or anything like that. So it's, Cowboys, Buccaneers. I'm rooting for the Cowboys. Go Dak and Zeke and Simi Fehoko, the legend of this channel. But thank you, everybody. I will see all of you again tomorrow.